Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka Oderere. I am of the candid opinion that for us to mobilize and build up the critical long-term capital required to fund key and critical infrastructure in Nigeria, either in the public sector or the private sector or through private-public partnership mechanisms, we must carry out massive reforms in our capital market, both the regulatory framework and operation framework, in our insurance market, both in the regulatory space and the operating space, and then the pension fund regime. We need to do further amendment on the existing Reform Pension Fund Acts to be able to build up a system that is transparent, that is accountable, that has checks and balances. See, over time, we've seen a lot of Ponzi games in Nigeria. People have been scammed. Most of those who scammed them learned from the corporate scammers in Nigeria. All over the world, there's always a cycle of boom and doom. And when there is a cycle of boom, people enjoy. When there's a doom, but of course, in most markets, most of us have heard about Madoff. Madoff did a Ponzi scheme of about $50 billion, and it was jailed long time. In Nigeria, many Madoffs have been able to escape because of the weak regulatory framework. I'll give you an example. Look at South Africa. We've been borrowing and we've been shouting, we've been screaming. How do we build up critical capital? Nigeria today has an infrastructure development master plan that clearly stated that we require non-physical capital investments of at least $100 billion annually over the next 30 years. That's $3 trillion capital investment requirement to be able to move this country to the level of even the second world country. But to get that capital inflow, we must have to look inward and we must have to look outward. To get external investments, we must look at foreign portfolio. Foreign portfolio investors for short term, we need foreign direct investors and foreign diaspora remittance and foreign diaspora investments. And I've always said it, and I bear repeating it again. The greatest investment of Nigeria, the greatest asset that we have are our diasporas. If we have very structured, very honest, very accountable and transparent capital market, insurance market, and pension fund market, we can easily attract nothing less than $50 to $100 billion diaspora remittance investments into Nigeria. We can easily mobilize critical mass of investment. Look at NIPS reports for 2023. Over 600 trillion naira passed through NIPS. That is the formal market. Of course, we know that we have a huge informal market. That is simply shows you that annually we do over a 1 to 1.2 quadrillion naira transactions. Nigeria has a working population of about 117 to 120 million people. For those of you who don't know, the working population is the age of between 16 to 64. Based on our estimated working population of 217 to 228 million people, our working population is between 117 to 120 million people. Close your eyes and imagine if we have a transparent system that allows us to aggregate pension fund contributions, pension fund contributions of even 500 naira from every working adult in Nigeria every day. That's 18 trillion naira every day. Even if it is 80% of them that are 90% of them that are employed, that is at least 16 trillion naira. Now, but why have we not been able to do this? Look at South Africa. The capital market of South Africa, South African capital market has depth. Market capitalization of South African capital market, Joburg Stock Exchange, is about $1.23 trillion. Nigeria Stock Exchange, our market capitalization as at 2 days ago, as at 2 days ago, 27th of May, 2024. Our capital market was about 55.3 trillion naira. If you convert it to dollar, it's about $37.8 billion. The South African capital market, 60 million people, is $1.2 trillion. South African pension fund is about $178 billion. The pension fund size of South Africa. Nigeria is 18 trillion, equivalent of $13 billion. We won't be tired of hoping and trusting and creatively providing solutions and providing suggestions on how we can move this economy forward. We've brought up proposals, working with one of the best and most efficient boutique investment bank from Switzerland. Switzerland has the most efficient pension fund regime in the whole world. Swiss pension fund asset size is about about 1.2, 1.3 trillion dollar, and they are just about 8.8 million people. Their capital market is about $880 billion sized market capitalization. So Nigeria can actually grow our pension fund assets. We started this journey in 2004, modeling our pension fund market and regime after the Chilean model. The Chileans are about 19.5 million people. Their pension fund asset size is about $204 billion. Their capital market is very huge. Go and check GDP per capita of Chile, 19.9 million people. Their GDP is about $370 billion. Go and check their GDP per capita, check their pension fund assets per capita, and you understand that we have not even we need to mobilize capital. But before us to mobilize, we must provide a transparent market. Why are Nigerians scared of buying up, investing in stock? Quoted stock exchange, stocks in Nigerian stock exchange. Why are Nigerian companies scared of going to the stock capital market to go and borrow money? In fact, because of the criminality that we allowed in the system. Between 2007 to 2010, Nigerians were so buoyant, they were so bullish about investing in capital market. A lot of criminals preyed on the gullibility of Nigerians, took their monies. Some took their monies to go and run elections in their state as governors. Some took their monies to go and marry many wives. Some took their monies to buy houses in Europe for their girlfriends. Most of those monies filtered away from IGI to that Alliance Insurance to many other private placements and capital mobilization that was done in Nigeria capital market. Nobody was held accountable. Nigerians invested their monies. Drivers, keke drivers, Okada drivers, Nigerians willingly invested their monies to buy shares in companies that were supposed to be listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. They had faith in their country to mobilize capital, and they were disappointed, they were betrayed. SEC did not take any urgent step to bring to book those who mobilized capital and stole people's money. The police, the EFCC did not do anything. That is why our capital market has no debts. If we decide today to look at what they are doing in South Africa, to look at what they are doing in Chile, to look at even what they are doing in Switzerland, look at the robust, transparent, accountable regulatory framework and enforcement, Nigerians will be boosted in confidence to be able to subscribe and mobilize their capitals to help us pull together long-term sources of funding that can enable us to invest in critical infrastructure and also allow creative, innovative minds in the real sector to be able to mobilize critical capital from Nigerians to be able to invest and grow this economy. The capital mobilization in the short term, the banking system is a system that that is a system where that intermediates the commercial banks intermediate between surplus economic units and deficit economic units, looking for those who have surplus funds to invest with those who have deficit funds. The capital market is a market for long-term capital. We have the primary market and we have the secondary market. The primary market is a market for new issuances. The secondary market is a market where existing shares are traded and between willing buyers and willing sellers. But Nigerians are scared of investing in capital market instruments, of even delving into the markets again, because they got their fingers burned between 2006 to 2010 and nobody was prosecuted. And we must have to do the right things. If we do the right things and put in place, improve our just policing, our administrative, our regulatory and justice administrative system in Nigeria to become as transparent as even South Africa and Chile, we can easily build up our pension fund assets from the current patrimony level of $13 billion to $200 billion over the next 10 years. We can easily build up our insurance market, the pool of funds from that area. We can even grow the depth of our capital market from the current patrimony level of $38 billion to at least $500 billion. Look at South Africa. There's nothing skyrocket about what they are doing. They have a system that works. There is no country where you do not have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the ugly and the bad, the system has a way of checkmating them, so that the good can be able to thrive. And when the bad and the ugly realizes that being bad and ugly will always have their consequences. Everybody will migrate to becoming good. And when we have a critical mass of good people, creative people, honest people, value-added people, the economy will grow. There are many people out there, most MSMEs, most cooperatives. See, we have to do the right things. We always argue that we have over 27 to 44 million MSMEs based on whoever is banding the figure, but there is no record. What did we do? In our own private corner, we decided to set up an app. We will be launching it to work with state ministries of trade and commerce, to work with the federal ministry of trade and commerce, to see how we can get all these artisans onboarded in a very scientific manner. What is the whole essence of doing this thing? Once these guys understand that by providing a comprehensive data list of these guys, we'll put them in cooperatives, we'll train them, we'll provide them with funding support. And even when they have cooperative arrangement where they can guarantee each other, they can even see, I don't know what, even the state governors are not doing much. I have written proposals to state governors. We have written proposals to state governors on how they can even use this kind of thing under the instrumentality of private-public partnership agreement to drive capital mobilization in their states, to help build up MSMEs in their state, to help grow up their state GDPs, to help create jobs. Where the state ministry of commerce and trade are driving this. You have mechanics, you have ticket drivers, put them together in cooperatives. You utilize the digital platform that we have created, www.usebazaar.africa. Register them, document them. We are mobilizing fund and training for them. We will mobilize training for them. We will mobilize funding for them under a community. And what the state government will simply do is they will counter guarantee themselves, and the state government will guarantee the instrument that they are issuing. If, for example, in Imo State, we have rice farmers documented and put into cooperatives, we can decide within the rice value chain in Imo State to do at least 30,000 hectares of new rice up farm gate with accompanying pressing plan to process those paddy rice. 30,000 hectares will get 30,000 jobs. We know how much it will cost. We will put them in cooperatives. They will be in cooperatives. The cooperatives that will be registered will issue commercial papers. We will get investors, diaspora investors, local investors that will subscribe to those notes that will enable them raise the funding to cultivate and process the rice. And then the state government will only provide guarantee, because we already provided a platform where all these people have been registered and documented, their name, their BVN, everything captured, and they will have accounts opened. They can even use the State Microfinance Bank as a registration point. We will do it. Apart from rice, keke drivers will do for them. Vulcanizers, we do for them. Onions farmers, we do for them. Dairy farmers, poultry farmers, we do for them. You have a register, comprehensive register of artisans and vocational job providers in your state. Plumbers, mechanics, electricians, patent medicine dealers. You have a register of them under the instrumentality of the digital platform that we have provided for you. We are not asking the government to bring any money. We will provide training. We will mobilize funding. We will even help them to create the cooperatives. We will even help them to do the information memorandum that will enable them, based upon which investors that can look and review and then subscribe to their notes. All that the state government will do is to provide guarantee using their FAC and JAC account banks in the states. And you will see clearly job creation. Cocoa farmers, they are cooperative. Palm tree cultivators, they are cooperatives. And when you do this thing, people will be willing to register. And you can even track the numbers, what they produce, what they sell, and the revenue. And you can apply tax. Does this require skyrocket science? And when we have improved on the laws, when there is enforcement and consequences, when the police, the EFCC, the courts are doing their jobs and not throwing around Jankara expert injunctions left and right, when we have an efficient, honest, transparent, and accountable policing, justice administrative system, and regulatory framework within the market space, this country will become paradise. We can easily build a $1 trillion economy, for crying out loud. We know the right things to do. We know how to do it. We know when to do it. We know how we can do it. We know how to mobilize resources for this country to move forward. We must be able to mobilize critical capital of not less than $100 billion into this economy annually, outside the physical revenue that are shared through differential account. It can be done. But we need the right thinking, honest, passionately creative, sincere, patriotic Nigerians to drive this process. We won't stop talking. We won't stop providing solutions. We won't stop raising these issues until the right things are done. Nigeria is a country that can tick the right boxes. While we are doing all this, we still beg Mr. President and National Assembly members and the state governors, kindly overhaul the constitutional and fiscal framework of Nigeria to turn this country from a consuming country to a productive one, as we used to have it between 1960 to 1966. Don't stop the 1963 constitution. Amend it for the 6 regions to become constituent and the federating units. Let the state become provinces. Make the term of office to be single term of 5 years and enshrine rotational presidency and governorship within the constitutional framework, and let this country work. Let us unleash the potential of this country. We can become a top 7, top 10 global biggest economy within the next 10 years if we do the right things. But if we refuse to do the right thing, Bible says, if the foundation is faulty, there's nothing the righteous can do. Then let us continue to live the way we are doing. Let us continue to build a nest of criminals, a nest of bandits, a nest of killers where there is so much misery. Remember, 197 million Nigerians live under poverty threshold of the World Bank, which is 100,000 naira per day, based on the current valuation of the naira. The only way we can take them out, just like China took their own out, is for us to do this thing that I have continually pointed out. It is the truth, the unassailable, inviolable truth. The truth we know and apply shall set us free. May God and heaven bear me witness. I have played my part. Thank you and God bless.